as have been introduced, is called the role of research and development in food business and establishment. And it is organized by the Food Update Consult and Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, the Lagos chapter. For the presentation, I have this outline to share. The very first one is the food business and establishment and development, what it means, food science and tech, the role of research and development in food business and establishment, typical research and development innovations, role of Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology in Nigerian food business and establishment, conclusion. The next slide is what is a business? A business has been defined as the regular production or purchase and sale of goods or delivery of service undertaken with an objective of earning profit and acquiring wealth through the satisfaction of human wants. It is an economic activity which is actually related with continuous and regular production and distribution of goods and services for satisfying human wants. It therefore implies that for a viable business, human wants is critical to solve their problems so that the industrialists will earn some income by satisfying human wants, either in form of satisfying human wants in form of goods or in form of services. We have features of a business, and this includes the following. The very first one is the exchange of goods and services for money. The second one has to do with dealing in numerous transactions. That is, a business involves different transactions for success story to be recorded at the end of the day. The next one is the profit, which is the primary objective of setting up of any business enterprise. The fourth one involves business skills for economic success. An industrialist must have business skills for economic success. All manners of risk and be factored into the entire business right from the beginning. It also involves marketing and distribution of goods and services. And the last but not the least involves satisfying human wants, as I've earlier mentioned. What is food business and establishment? A food business and establishment is therefore having the aforementioned information that I've earlier given, is therefore an organization, be it cottage, be it small, be it medium, be it large-scale entrepreneur, with the sole objective of earning profit through handling, processing, preservation, packaging, storage, distribution, and marketing of food in the raw, semi-processed, intermediate, or as finished product. The entire spectrum of activities, right from the farm gate until the food reaches the table of the ultimate consumers, there are areas of possible different food business and establishment development. A food business and establishment can only stay relevant in the market through regular application of relevant research and development innovations. Otherwise, such business becomes obsolete with time. And when the business becomes obsolete with time, profit drops, and the primary objective of setting the business is defeated. We have some examples of food business. The very first one is the sale of fresh produce at the farm gate, packaging and storage of fresh food and products at the farm gate. The third one involves transportation of fresh foods. Transportation of fresh foods and semi-processed foods from rural areas to urban centers. The fourth one involves processing of fresh and intermediate foods into finished products for local and export markets. It also involves distribution of processed foods to different locations in the country, especially the urban centers. We need to know what research and development means in relation to food business. Research and development is the generation of new knowledge and their application to solving existing identified problems or for solving emerging and future problems with the major aim of increasing produce, products, process, services competitiveness and profit on a sustainable basis. Research and development can be a component of a food business and or can be contracted out to other organizations. I say and or, that is, a component of it can be domiciled in the company and part of their research activities can be contracted out either to research institute, to relevant research institute, to universities, to Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, or can be contracted out to other organizations entirely, that is 100% contracted out. This brings us to knowing what food science and technology entails. Food science is the understanding and application of science to satisfy the needs of society, the food needs for sustainable food quality, safety, and security. It is a discipline in which engineering, biological, and physical sciences, they are used to study the nature of foods, the causes of food deterioration, the principles underlying food processing, and the various improvements of food for the consuming public. Food technology is the application of food science to the selection, preservation, processing, packaging, distribution, and using of safe, nutritious, and wholesome food. Now, the main topic, the role of research and development in food business and establishment. The research and development provides technical information because we need to start from the raw materials point of view before you can talk of the finished products, before you can talk about the intermediate products in various forms. It provides technical information on food raw material. That is research and development. It provides information in terms of what that raw material actually contains, and what it contains will influence the selection. What it contains will also influence the quality, the handling protocols, packaging and storage to use, method to use, packaging method, packaging material, storage methods, storage protocols, handling and distribution methods for optimum maintenance and preservation of nutritional qualities and safety of the products. Research and development aids in establishing standardized process technologies and products from a given food raw material, as well as most appropriate food additives where required for a given product. Some industrialists, they just add whatever they feel should be in a particular product. This should not be. Even at the farm gate, it happens. There's a lot of adulterated products in market. There's a lot of products in market that are not supposed to contain particular food additives, or maybe they contain those food additives at levels that are unsafe for human consumption. Research and development will address such areas, indicating what type of food additives a produce or a product or intermediate product can contain, at what levels must that additive be there, because there is room for animal experiment, there is room to ascertain the effect of this additive on biological animals, such as using animal models, so as to be able to mimic how those additives will affect human system. Research and development addresses such area. It also helps food business establishment in determining appropriate hazard analysis, critical control protocols, food safety plan, and good manufacturing practice strategies for a given food raw material, intermediate, and finished product. So a thorough knowledge of the properties of the raw material, of the intermediate product, of the finished product from biological point of view, from physical point of view, from engineering point of view, they are necessary to be able to design appropriate hazard analysis, critical control points, good manufacturing practice strategies for a given food material. Material for either intermediate products and even for finished products. Research and development. Research and development is required in upgrading indigenous process technologies, is required in recipe manipulations for existing food products. It is required in developing completely new products. It is required in establishing the sensory and consumer acceptability of a given fresh produce, finished product, which is pivotal to activities of a food business. Because for a food business to thrive, all these areas must be addressed, because it is not, because profit is key to an investor. Profit is very key to any investor. Developing a food product or manipulating an existing recipe that will not bring about profit to the investor is a total waste. So all these, they are very, very critical in food business and must be addressed from research and development points of view. Everybody may know what sensory evaluation or consumer acceptability may mean. However, the experts, they have to be involved so that at the end of the day, the right conclusion on the sensory attributes, on the consumer acceptability of a given fresh produce, of a given product, they are actually concluded and standardized. R&D is crucial in establishing appropriate storage conditions for fresh produce, intermediate products, and finished products for optimum nutrient retention and safety. It also helps to establish the keeping qualities and the product shelf life, and the shelf life of a given produce, intermediate product, and finished product. It is required for design and development of suitable prototype unit processing equipment for different unit operations in a food processing business establishment. It can be used to confirm, that is, research and development can be used to confirm health and safety claims for a given food product, such as in establishing the clinical efficacy of a given food product, as in the use of some functional foods and nutraceutical food products. Now we have a lot of functional food, we have a lot of nutraceutical food products in the market. It is not just sufficient to say they are functional food, they are nutraceutical foods. All the claims on such products need to be confirmed through research and development. It is helpful also for determining and obtaining needed technical information for different food as required by the National Food Regulatory Agency, such as NAFDAC, as well as for setting food standards. These nutritional facts, such as these nutritional facts, the serving size, handling and safety parameters for compliance by food establishment. You obtain all those information via adequate research and development done by experts in that field. Research and development can provide necessary information to investors. Marketing and distribution strategies to adopt for a given need gap, as well as stimulating demand for produce, existing food products, and newly developed food products. With the use of animal model, research and development helps to establish some quality parameters, such as the protein quality of a protein-rich product, mineral bioavailability, and food safety. Research and development will also provide information on the consumption pattern or demand for a given produce, intermediate product, and finished product, cultural practices that may impede sale of some product, and profitable need gap that can be exploited by food business and establishment, as well as suitable loan options. We have some typical areas of research and development innovations in food business and establishment, as given by Bigliardi and Galati 2013. We can have research and development innovations in the area of new food ingredients and raw materials. We can have research and development innovations in the area of food process techniques, innovations in food quality, packaging methods, research and development in new distribution or retailing methods. We have some existing research and development innovations for food business establishment. For instance, there are some technologies that have been developed by research scientists in the past, and these include development and production of breakfast meal from indigenous crops, 4 different age groups, development and production of functional food for adult and elderly population, upgrading indigenous technology for production of some selected traditional Nigerian soups, upgrading indigenous technologies for production of different fermented cassava products, development of suitable process technology for production of high-quality cassava flour for confectionery products. We have mechanized yam flour. We have processing of indigenous fruits into juices and dried fruit slices. We have processing of tomatoes and onion into different value-added products. We have development and production of fortified biscuits for African school-age children from indigenous food crops. We have development and production of frozen chips as African fries from yam. We have development of a rice destoning equipment, development of a cowpea dehauler, development of a vegetable dryer, development of a plantain slicer and roaster, development of orange and yellow flaked sweet potatoes into different shelf-stable meal and snacks. The list cannot be exhausted. We have so many innovations. Those innovations that I gave, they are just selected innovations. For instance, we have some typical products with matching unit process and farm gate equipment. For instance, if we start with cassava, there are some intermediate products that can be obtained from cassava, such as the paste. We have finished products such as gari, fufu paste, non-fermented products, the high-quality cassava flour used in confectionery industry. We also have the various equipment that accompany that particular crop. I would like to say at this junction that most of the innovations that have been made at the local level, research scientists need to embrace the use of these innovations, the equipment, the various developed processes. Some of these processes, they are patented, they are registered, and they have been patented. There's need to patronize made in Nigeria fabricated equipment that matches made in Nigeria developed processes for our typical indigenous products. Importing equipment into the country that do not match the special stages involved products will not be sustainable for any industrialist. In the first place, the exchange rate is high. The exchange rate is not economical. So made in Nigeria, fabricated equipment that are specially designed for upgraded technologies should take prominence in whatever choice of equipment any industrialist, food industrialist, will be going into henceforth. We have for party rice. Nigeria imports rice, spend huge amount of money in importing rice into the country annually. And what our major problem with our local rice is the issue of stones and other foreign materials in the rice, in the local rice. We have research scientists, we have institutions that have worked on this, and we have destoner, we have grain washer, we have mill for grains, we have packaging equipment, especially for grains, for rice. We also worked on fruits, conversion of fruits into fruit powder, into fruit juice, into high fiber fruit beverage. There are matching equipment that are locally available. We have the fruit washer, the vacuum dryer, the vacuum evaporator, the fruit crusher, the pasteurizer, the mixers, the packaging equipment. We also have for sweet potato. Sweet potato can be in fermented form, it can be in unfermented form. There are equipment to convert this sweet potato into sweet potato flour, especially now in the days of using orange flesh sweet potato, which contains beta carotene and have been found to have pro-vitamin A activity. We have equipment that are already fabricated and patented in Nigeria that are specially fermented sweet potato flour, orange flesh sweet potato flour in abundance. We also have we have smoked fish, fish flakes. There are organizations, there are institutions in which all these equipments are locally available and can be mass produced on request. We also have the sorghum, the maize, the millet, the soybean. There are some in different forms, either in fermented form, in intermediate forms. We have the high fiber meal, fermented beverage, infant complementary food from maize and soybean blend, soy ogi, high nutrient density biscuit. There are matching equipment for all this. We also have the date fruits, mango and melon. There are also matching equipment, the fruit washer, the juice extractor, the pasteurizer, the packaging equipment. We have products, the sport drinks, date juice, mango dried slices. For tomato paste, ketchup, there are equipment for these products, made in Nigeria equipment, based on research and development innovations from the laboratory that metamorphosed into equipment, unit equipment. We also have innovations in the area of instant pounded yam flour, dried yam chips. We have the yam peeler, cabinet dryer, rotary dryer, hammer mill. We have the equipment, the onion powder, onion paste. We have equipment that can be mass produced for interested investors. And this brings us to the role of the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology in food business and establishment. Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology is the only registered non-profit making body representing food professionals drawn from the academia, industry, government, and research institutes in Nigeria. It provides professional support to members and the food industry. It has various chapters across the nation, especially in all the geopolitical zones, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The members of this organization, they are experts from diverse fields of science and technology as related to the practice of food business and establishment, and such fields include food science and technology, food technology, nutritional biochemistry, nutrition, analytical chemistry, agricultural engineering, animal science, fisheries, food engineering, post-harvest technology, food value addition, microbiology. The expertise from all those areas of specialization is relevant at different stages of a given fresh produce, intermediate product, and finished product. Currently, the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology partners officially with some universities, relevant research institutes, technology incubation centers, and food companies to achieve her vision. Food Update Consult and NIST, they are into partnership agreements on issues on food and nutrition security, as well as providing affordable services to existing and prospective food investors for sustainable quality production, impact, and profit. And this brings us to the vision of NIST, Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology. The vision of this organization is to provide good and abundant food for all through service to humanity and country, resulting in food security and the well-being of Nigerians. While the mission statement is to harness the abundance of talent, knowledge, and skills among food professionals in Nigeria towards food sufficiency and good nutrition of the masses. Some opportunities in NIST, in Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology. NIST and the Food Update Consult, therefore, welcome prospective food investors and existing food investors to take advantage of the opportunities in this organization to develop, upgrade, improve on quality of their produce and products, which will be cost-effective and highly acceptable by the consumers, both for local and export market, in line with the requirements of the relevant food regulatory bodies, whether National Agency of Food, Drug and Administration and Control, or FDA, Food, Drug and Administration, or USDA, NIST and Food Update Consult welcome prospective food investors and existing food investors, and they are ready to assist such investors to realize his or her dream in the area of providing safe food, nutritious food locally and for the export market. Also, corporate registration with Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology by food business and establishment implies direct and unhindered interactions with the food professionals and could guide in providing solutions to urgent technical needs, such as raw material requirements for a given product, processing operations to adopt, and relevant process equipment and product quality. Corporate registration with NIST will reinforce product endorsement. That is, corporate registration with Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology will reinforce product endorsement by Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, which can be displayed on the product label and used for product promotions to strengthen product quality, credibility, perspective, and acceptability by consumers. The Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology could readily assist in ensuring that a food business and establishment satisfies with the technical criteria, personnel criteria as spelled out by the National Food Regulation Body, thus easing the bottlenecks for product registration. The Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology and Food Update Consult, they have the capacity to provide sustainable research and development innovations to diverse food problems often encountered by the Nigerian food business and establishment irrespective of the scale of operations, that is, whether at cottage level, small scale, medium, and large scale level of operation. Both organizations, they are adequately equipped with knowledge to drive effective, sustainable value addition to food to achieve national food and nutrition security for a hunger-free society, which incidentally is the second goal out of the 17 goals of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal by year 2030 in transforming the world, including Nigeria. The research and development innovations and initiatives are therefore critical for the survival of any Nigerian food business and establishment and for the survival of the nation in relation to food self-sufficiency for her citizenry. Research and development innovations and efforts in Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology can readily be deployed to various areas of food business needs and profitably implemented for improved productivity and greater output. However, all these efforts must be adequately matched with excellent product market strategies and planning for successful business. Those are the references cited. The references. Thank you so much for your attention.